Okay, I ate dinner. I am back. We will finish up this section of whatchamacallit now. This is going to be the second half of Louverance's path for this chapter. I keep forgetting his name, so I'm just going to call him Louis Vuitton for now. Hopefully that's not going to cause any problems. So yeah, we are going to continue. We just talked to Grandpa Desperate, and he gave us some heads up on the Sin Hunters, so we're going to go talk to the chieftain of the Mithra in Windurst. Not Port, Windurst Woods. There we go. Chieftain is over here on the north side of Windurst Woods, so we'll start with that. And if you're changing videos and watching it, I still love you, and hopefully everything is still going well. We found out that the force that drove everybody mad from the Northern Expedition all those years ago, 30 years before the events of the game, was caused by a dark divinity, not by the dusk god Promathia. Oops, I forgot I started coffee. Hold on 1 second. Okay, that's going. I have coffee brewing, so I'm gonna make my last 2 cups of coffee for tonight. And just gotta have that. My current cup got cold and I'm sad. So we're going to the Mithrin Quarter. Probably the one that's labeled here. Vashai's what? Residence. So we're going to talk to the chieftainess over here, and hopefully we get the correct quest, because there's also a quest for a job. So, before we talk to her, I'm going to go finish making the coffee. One moment. It's cold and it is windy. Oh my goodness gracious. Ugh. Okay. Warming up a little bit. Alright. No idea what kind of voice to give this. This is the trust. No. You wish to hear of Altayu adventure? A moment. To ask questions in such a blunt manner does not befit a lady. My most humble apologies for the intrusion, Chieftainess FFXI. My name is Reverence and Mistel. To save the people of Vanadia, I seek the truth that lies behind the veil of history. A time of apocalypse is at hand. I beg you for the guiding knowledge of ages passed down through the Mithran race. I understand your situation. However, I know nothing of the city painted in that picture. Even if you were to ask the Mithran trackers, I doubt they would have an answer for you. They are on a journey to fulfill an important duty. If I may be so bold, are the Mithran trackers following the scent of some grave crime? Yes, they came to demand atonement for the sins of the Tavnesian cardinal. The cardinal? What crime could she have committed? Strangely enough, her sins are related to the picture you speak of. That picture was stolen from the temple of Ugalape. A Mithran tracker traveled to Tavnesia to recover it, but was instead presented with a deal by the cardinal. A deal? The cardinal apparently knew everything about the legend recited by the Mithra, and the duty that it entails. She also stated that the means to carry out that duty had been prepared in Tavnesia. The tracker had no choice but to accept the deal. The fate of Vanadia's people was placed in the hands of the cardinal. Chieftainess, indulge me, if you will. What is this legend, and of what duty it reveals? What had your people intended to do? That duty was given to the Mithra by the ancient race depicted in the picture. A duty to awaken the sleeping gods. The sleeping gods? Surely you have heard of the tale of the ancient race that wounded Vanadia by opening the gates of paradise. The emptiness that poured from that wound tried to swallow everything in its path. The mountains, the seas, the skies, the forests, even life itself. The living beings of Vanadia decided to use the tears that Altana had shed, to cleanse the world. However, a battle erupted between the king of the people and the king of the dragons over the 5th tier. A conflict that knew no end. The people that survived used the power of the sleeping gods to heal the wounded land. And that is a legend told by the Mithra. Adventurer, in your travels you would have seen the giant glowing crystals that lie hidden far away from civilization. Those crystals are the resting places of the gods. Slumbering within are the immortal beings whom were called forth to heal the land in the Age of Legend. The wounded land of Vanadia bleeds forth dreaded emptiness. It is now time for us to awaken the sleeping deities and mend our suffering world. And this is the role of the cardinal attempted to fulfill. But how? That has not yet been revealed to me. But if you must learn the answer to that question, then you should ask the Tavnesian theologian who was a survivor of that great war, before she is punished for that crime. Do you need further explanation? The Mithran sin hunters never forgive a crime. The sin does not die with the sinner. Be careful with your actions. It is not our place to judge your sins, but in time your sins may come to judge you. What do you make of her words, Metasmith? The theology of the Mithra veers quite dramatically from that of the Sandorian Cathedral in several respects. The legend concerning the 5 tiers of Altana is especially at odds with what the Elvain believe. That is why I warn you not to swallow her tale without question. Talk of legend aside, the chiefess's description of the emptiness that appeared in every corner of Vanity is indisputable truth. However, the Mithrin trackers are now chasing after the theologian Prish and not Cardinal Mildarion, which would mean that even the trackers were unable to locate the whereabouts of the Cardinal. Does this mean that the Cardinal has already bid farewell to this world? Has my astonishing luck finally failed me? It is nice to meet you after so long, sir. I wonder if you remember old Hanoi Gomoy. I thought you might have informed me of your presence. I was mightily surprised to hear that you were in town. As always, your visits cause quite a stir. But I do babble on. Your subordinates bade me pass this on to you. It is an item that should help tremendously in your task. But this is... Yes, indeed! It was broken when you crossed swords with that detestable Vuki. I went to great doubted lengths to have this repaired for you. What's more, I finally made the progress on the task you entrusted to me so long ago. That despicable bounty hunter caused you so much trouble, Goldmane. You have information? Yes, according to some Mithrin pirates, the rascal has purchased a small deserted island south of Mora. I see. My luck has not forsaken me after all. Metasmith, I ask that you leave the rest of this task to me, alone. My incredible luck does not extend to those around me. It may prove to be more of a hindrance than a help. Until next time we meet. Okay. So next I need to get on the Mana Clipper. In this part, I'm gonna go get coffee while I'm waiting, because it's probably gonna be like a 10 or 15 minute wait. One of the charming parts about this game is that there are literally moments where you have to wait. And this is one of them. This area, in order to get to it, there's 2 possible ways. One is to take a boat, and the other is to complete the mini expansion called, what is it, Void? Something Void? What is it called? I got a secret soul to it. What is it called? Limbus Dynamis. Odyssey content. Genes Unity. Special. What is it called? I can't remember offhand. It's not Void Walker. It's Void Watch, that's it. There's a series of missions called Void Watch. It's a mini expansion, not a full expansion. So in order to use that particular teleport to get there quickly, you'd have to complete an entire series of battle quests. Which is... it's like a full day's worth of traveling and doing stuff, so I'm not gonna bother. We're just gonna go to this home point, travel to the Budu Peninsula, Bururimu Peninsula and take the boat from there. I think I need to buy... Let's see... The bright yellow shirt. What is that symbol? I don't know. Bururimu Peninsula is in... Next one. Froggating? No. Shoo-shoo. There we go. No, Bibiggy Bay. That's what we're looking for. So basically we're gonna do exactly what he said not to do, and we're going to go chase down this lead in Bibiki Bay. This private island that was purchased. In order to get there, we have to take... Oh! The boat! It's here! Do I have a ticket? No! Don't depart shortly! No! I need a ticket! No! Come on! Target! Target! No! It's... No! 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 So yeah, that's a 15-minute wait for missing the boat. What, did I already have a multi-ticket? No, I had the barge multi-ticket. Oh man, that's so annoying. Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna go finish making coffee. I will be right back. So, how about that boat ride? How long do we have to wait? 12 minutes. We have 12 minutes before the boat gets here, so I'm gonna go... Where is... I had... Ah, there it is, at the bottom. I need to go to items. We're gonna pop these clusters. And we're just gonna go ahead and do this crafting while we wait. So we're gonna do smithing kit 30. Okay, we should have plenty of time. So once we do the first one, we just hit a button, it'll do it 3 times for us. In the meantime, I'm gonna... You know what I could do? Let me see... Alright, let me... It's gonna be weird a second. I'm going to... adjust some volume stuff. There we go. There we go. Let's see here. What if I add... window capture... start that loop one more time. Alright. This is how desperate I am for something to do. We're gonna go ahead and run this while we're waiting. And we'll let that auto roll. It should be fine. Anyways, yeah, Grand Blue Fantasy is a gacha game that has great music, actually. Fun little trivia. Nobuo Uematsu did some of the music for Grand Blue Fantasy. So, it's excellent music, well done. I like it. They just had their New Year's event, so there was a ton of polls that were free, so I've been playing this past couple weeks. So it's been fun. But anyways, yeah, the whatchamacallit? What's been going on lately? Boeing had an airplane where a piece of the airplane just kind of flew off. Which is scary, but nobody was pulled from the airplane. There were no, like, deaths related. It was a dangerous situation, don't get me wrong, but the plane landed just fine. So, like, when something like that happens, while I agree it's terrifying, I'm also impressed with the amount of, engineering that goes into these airplanes, that something so catastrophically bad can happen and it still makes it back to the airport just fine. But yeah. I don't know. A lot of what's going on in the world right now, there's a lot of political stuff behind it. So it's difficult to just kind of talk about without running afoul of being political, and I don't want to be political. At least not in stream and on recording. That's something that's kind of political adjacent to talk about. Recording your thoughts and putting them in some sort of medium that can be easily recalled, in my opinion, is one of the most terrifying things you can do as a human being. Because I think we've talked about it before, where, like, it's entirely possible that you can be wrong. Not only is it possible, it's likely that you are wrong. You know? But in today's environment, it's hard to be what if you're wrong and you learn from being wrong? What if you say something wrong and someone's like, I don't think that's quite right. And they challenge you on it, and they say, well, that doesn't make sense because this, this, and this. And that's great. You can learn from saying something wrong and being wrong and then accepting that you're wrong. But, like, very few people are good at correcting others. Like, correcting others is a skill. And not very many people are very good at it. And what I mean by that is that some people are just jerks. Like, not only are you wrong, but I want you to feel stupid for being wrong, and I want you to feel bad for being wrong, and I want you to regret having shared any thoughts at all in the first place. And, like, it's almost, it's cruel. It's cruelty, and, like, I don't like that. So recently, like, just as an example, recently I've had some interactions with regard to this game where there's a group that I play with that are a lot of new people, and they start talking, they want help, and blah 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 blah. And one person in particular that I talked to, they had a conversation the day before about something in particular in this game, specifically in regards to character creation. When you create a character in this game, you can choose a race, and your stats do depend somewhat on your race. It's not very heavily dependent upon, but it's dependent. No, it's really not dependent upon anything. Like, you can recover the difference in stats fairly quickly. So it's almost pointless, almost. There's going to be, like, say for accuracy, you get accuracy from dexterity for physical accuracy. So it's possible to have, as a Mithra, something like 5 more accuracy than Ataru from dexterity. But we're talking about 5 extra dexterity, or not, 5 extra, I think the total difference between them is like 11. So you can get 5 more accuracy for your weapon, for your primary weapon, but like the accuracy caps we're talking about are like 1,000. So it's the difference between 1,000 and 1,005. It's not significant in the least. And so when they started talking about it again, I was like, oh yeah, no, don't worry about stats because it's not that big. Like they were talking about the other day. And I thought that was still like a concern that they had, so I wanted to alleviate that concern. Like, oh, you really don't need to worry about that if that's what you're worried about, because this is like, what are you talking about? That has nothing to do with anything I was talking about just now. I didn't ask anything about that. It's like, oh, did I talk to the wrong guy? And I looked it up because, no, it was his conversation that he was discussing this in detail, the difference between races and stuff like that. And he just, no, I'm not talking about that anymore. And like the matter of fact, like, why would you bring that up? Obviously I didn't ask about that. It's like, I'm sorry I even said anything. I made a mistake, my bad. And I don't know if there's a good way... No, I do know if there's a good way to say what he said. And that wasn't it. So like... Those things stack? Oh, good. Oh, do I have any left? I have 11 left. Okay. We can keep doing this. So, like, I hate that kind of thing. It's so... It's like the entire point was to tell me you're wrong, you're stupid, and why would you even think that? You're just assuming things. Like, it's accusatory almost, in my opinion, when you say it like that. No, you're wrong, we're not talking about that, why would you bring that up? It's like, but you were just... Yesterday you were... But... that kind of thing. Was that the boat? Yay, the boat's here. Now that kind of thing really, really irks me. Alright, we need to get on the boat. We need to get on the boat. Get on the boat, get on the boat, get on the boat. Yay, we're on the boat. We're on the boat. Okay. Alright, we're safe. How many more of those things do I have? 8 more kits, so I can run one more. But man, it's so... It's so awkward when people try to... When people are really, really pushy about telling you that you're wrong. Let's do that one. And it rubbed me the wrong way. So... Yeah, Final Fantasy XI is great for playing gacha games. There we go. I really do like the boat music though. It's one of the things I wish weren't so convoluted in other games, but were also part of it. Forcing you to take the boats is one thing, but making it like just a zone you can go to, especially with fishing. Fishing is great. This will be interesting to see how the minimap works. How long are we going to be here for? Alright. Okay. 8 minutes. Hi, my name's Kots Chalanko, and I'll be your guide for today's trip around Dalmo Rock. Alright, where's Dalmo Rock? Hold on. Gotta go beat up the clock. Still not much to see, is there? Well, you just hold on, because we're in for the ride of your life! Alright, let's see where Dalmo Rock is. Maybe it's this archway here? I don't know which one's Dalmo Rock. On your right, you can see the Washboard Wake. I've heard some huge fish swim in these waters. Just be careful not to bust your rod. I guess. I don't know if that was supposed to be innuendo. Ooh, that's pretty. Which one's Dalmo Rock? I don't know. Who's this? Oh, that's the tour guide. Ah, isn't it great out here on the open sea? Alright. Ooh, crap. There we go. So peaceful. Um, 4 minutes. So yeah, anyways, I don't appreciate randomly telling people that they're wrong. I prefer, I think in education they call it scaffolding. But instead of just like, no, that's wrong, you try and create a structured of a situation where they can see why it's wrong and then correct it themselves. To help them with that realization of, oh, I made this mistake, so if I do this and this, I can fix this. And again, that's easier said than done. It's really difficult in a teaching situation even to correct a student without... Ta-da! Dommel Rock! So, what do you think? Pretty spectacular, huh? Oh, that's Dommel Rock. I don't know why is it called Dommel Rock? It doesn't even look like a Dommel. It's absolutely not spectacular. It's just an arch. Like, maybe if one side had a huge, like, cliff on it or something, it might look like Dommel Rock, but I don't agree with you. Like, that's silly. That's not Dommel Rock. Like, why is that Dommel Rock? I don't know. Unless they're talking about those rocks right there, because they all are long and thin, like a Dommel's neck. Maybe that's what they're talking about. I don't know. But yeah, that should about do it for the boat ride. But yeah, I get frustrated when people, like, tell you you're wrong and then make no effort to explain themselves. Make no effort to, like, give any... And this is in particular when it comes to, like, people that are really, really uptight about grammar. Especially with things like, "So long, Dommel Rock! We'll never forget your towering pillars, your sheer slopes, and your pinkish hues." I guess, I don't know. Like, especially when it comes to grammar, I think the one I can think of most clearly is should have and should have. And especially when people are typing and writing it out, because you hear should have and you type should of instead of should have or should apostrophe V. And like, there's no good time to try and correct someone on that, because the difference between speaking and writing, like, what's the purpose of what's the purpose of written communication versus spoken communication? And if you're speaking, if you're writing, you're trying to convey something that's from speech. So you're trying to put speech on paper. And you develop rules on how to do that and how you want everything to go, and that's basically grammar, right? That's fair to say. But grammar on paper in writing doesn't match how we speak, because we don't speak in full sentences. We don't speak in clear, concise phrases all the time. And it's not confusing. We still are successful at communicating, and it doesn't actually change anything. Okay, we're done with that. I don't need to have this anymore. Alright. Where is it? We're gonna hide that. Okay, bye-bye. Bye-bye, Grand Blue Fantasy. We're here. Wait. What? No, this is the... What was the other one? I want to go to Purganogoro Island. What? We have to go on another... Oh. I got on the wrong boat. It's fine. It's fine. I think it's the same boat that goes to both places, so I'm going to pretend that it didn't just, like, double the amount of time this is going to take. Because this has literally been an hour waiting for a boat ride. I should have brought more crafting stuff. Alright. Well, Damo Rock was interesting, wasn't it? Guess what's back? There we go. But yeah, correcting someone on should've and should have is the most annoying, pain in the ass thing that anybody can do. For two reasons. One, if you're reading it, you know exactly what the person's trying to communicate. You know exactly what they meant. And two, when spoken, you've literally transcribed the exact sounds onto paper that you intended. So, like, the person isn't wrong. Hi, my name's Kats Chalanko, and I'll be your guide for today's trip around the tropical paradise of Pergonorgo Island. Pergonorgo. Why does it sound like it should be Porgonorgo Island? The water here is pretty deep, so don't be surprised if something starts pulling on your line. Though a lot of the times it's just a clump of seaweed. But yeah, there's a few different things that people correct when it's not asked, nor is it the intent to be corrected. It's like I'm trying to communicate you to something, like I'm trying to communicate regret over something I didn't do, and I said should've instead of should have, and you're correcting me on that, and you're not responding to anything I'm saying other than this grammar issue. And it just... There's better ways to go about pointing out that problem than ignoring everything that was that the person was trying to communicate to you, except for that one little bit, because that means you have absolutely nothing to add to the conversation. You just want to sound like a, I don't know, you want to sound smart, I guess. You're doing absolutely nothing. You're achieving nothing in the conversation other than trying to make the other person feel dumb. And the should have error is not something that has anything to do with intelligence. It's nothing to do with it at all. And so the implication that you're not as smart because you said should of instead of should have, it's like, if you want to sound like an asshole, please just go ahead and make that correction. Just say nothing about anything that the person said. Just, they could have said anything in the world. They could have admitted to murder, like, no, you mean should have? And, like, they're not going to sound any dumber for making that mistake. You're going to sound dumber because you don't add anything to the conversation, and the only thing that you could figure out to point at is that tiny, tiny little grammar issue. God, that irks me so much. And like, there are tons of other issues in our speech patterns that are far more detrimental than should have, and other things like that. For example, oh, I didn't read any of these. Hold on. We're getting close to the island surrounding Puganuro. This area is known for ridiculously rapid currents. I've even heard rumor of sea monsters attacking lonely mana clippers. We've passed the first set of islands and entered into the waters of Guguru Blue. These are some of the best waters for catching those pointy fish. What are they called again? Swordfish. It's a good thing you can't fall off. What also is interesting is that, like, we're not... I can never tell if, like, if this object is moving or if there's just a slideshow happening. Because even when it comes into dock, it never actually shows the player on the vessel while it's docking. So maybe any scene where it looks like you're moving is just that, it just looks like you're moving. So like everything on the ship is holding still, and then there is just a slideshow happening, kind of in the distance here. But I don't know. I wonder how they do it. Oh, that's probably what I was going to say. Grammar issues that bother me are things that confuse the meaning of what you're trying to say. And things like should have are not one of those things that confuse anybody. There's no confusion whatsoever. In the situations where your actual job is to make those kind of corrections, the best thing to do is to make sure you frame it as, this is one of the mistakes you made when you wrote this passage. Clamming. No thank you. I think it's this way. But like, yeah, I don't know. Alright, let's hide this. There we go. There's a time and a place to correct grammar and talk about communication and that, like, in the tiny minutia of how you're communicating, the little pieces of what you're trying to communicate. And if you're going to correct somebody publicly, it needs to be a correction of something that causes confusion. So if they said something and the thing that they said legitimately confused the meaning of what they want to accomplish by communicating with you, and if it hasn't caused that level of confusion, then you openly and directly correcting it is just you being a dick. Like, that's the only the only thing I can think, the only way I can reply to that. Yeah. So, like, sometimes when you make a mistake, it's nice when you can hear about the mistake in a way that's not accusatory, in a way that's not what's the phrase? If I'm correcting somebody, so I guess I need an example. If I'm correcting my dad on a point about economics, I'm not going to tell him you're wrong. I'm going to tell him something like, oh, it was over there. I'm going to tell him something like, I don't think that's quite right. I don't think that's quite accurate. I don't think that's quite correct. I don't think that's... From my understanding, this, and this, and this leads to that. And that's how I prefer to go about it. Alright. Oh, an hour later we can do the next cutscene. There's one more after this. Krum, krum. The machine has noticed something behind you. Bum, 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 bum. Krum, krum. So, Metasmith, you came even after I specifically requested that you entrust this matter to me. I suppose it is your prerogative as an adventurer to poke your nose into other people's business. However, you really are too forgiving. Those who find enjoyment in the humiliation of others need to feel the sting of regret for their actions. Look at what you've done to my war machine! After all I went through to get my hands on one! You're so mean! You're so terrible! You're so ugly! You waste your time speaking through these mandragoras. You are listening, Wookie Chibuki. I am Louverons and Mister, representative of Sandoria, the Sandorian Cathedral. Show yourselves immediately! Well, well. I never really believed you met your end in Sandoria. I could never forget the cuts of that blade. You won't fool me. Throw down your sword. One false move and one false move and that bird will be on the direct flight to the Chateau d'Origel. It carries a note for the Royal Knights, one that informs them of your survival. Ha! Still prepared for the worst as always. Your cowardice has worsened with age. But perhaps you didn't hear me clearly. I am Louverons and Mistel. Even with the assassination of Frankmage, the family of Mistel still retains honor amongst the knightly orders. With that family name at my disposal, your trivial note will amount to nothing. I tire of your games, Vuki Chibuki. Why would the scion of such a noble Marquis family act in this way? Did you argue that honor alone will not fill a hungry belly? That kind of reasoning I would expect from a Taru with no understanding of the term honor. It is the complete opposite. I have chosen to use my influence to see that justice is done. To see justice done? Your notion of justice should have been erased years ago, along with the destruction of Tavnasia. It is true that even now, 20 years after the war, the ruins of the Marquisate still crawl with the remnants of the Beastmen army. However, the walls erected around the Sacrarium by Cardinal Mildarion sheltered the underground delivery tunnels from invasion. I have discovered that the safehold built within those tunnels harbors the refugees of Tavnasia. Refugees? Are you certain? If you had not chosen to waste your time here lamenting the past, this revelation would have reached you as well. The refugees of Tavnasia have already presented their plight to Juno and asked for a member of the government to visit Tavnasia. Juno? A government official immediately entered the safehold under this pretense of aid. Without the knowledge of the Tavnasian survivors, he proceeded to rifle through the contents of the Sacrarium. Ha! But this is great news. At least the inhabitants of the Marquisate weren't completely obliterated. Those trinkets of the past have no use for anyone. Juno can take anything they want if the refugees are to be saved. But can it truly be said that the people of Tavnasia will be rescued? You lost a wife and children in that war. Everyone who survived that travesty lost something or someone dear to them. Their spirits have suffered a terrible blow. They have spent years cowering from the shadows of horrors that lurk behind the walls of the safehold. And those responsible for the current state of the Marquisate have all but forgotten its existence, living in blissful ignorance. These very same villains are soon to be the recipients of tears of gratitude from the very people they condemned to misery. Do you mean to simply stand by and watch this injustice unfold, even though the truth weeps silently in your heart? What else would you have me do? Surely you don't intend to tell me what really happened? Surely you don't intend to tell them what really happened? Yes, that is exactly what I propose. I will shed light on the dark purpose of the Allied army, hidden behind the confusion of the Great War. I will also call for assistance in the restoration of the nation of Tavnasia. But what? You can't possibly do this alone! It is the realization of that very fact that prompted my return. I already control the successor to the Tavnasian Marquisate. Preparations to receive funds and troops from a certain wealthy family are also underway. This wealthy family is willing to pour its resources into recovering the knowledge and relics that have been collected over the years by the Tavnasian Cathedral. However, these relics have all been taken by the Cardinal Mildarion, and her present whereabouts are unknown. That is why I have come to request information from you. I wish to visit the source of this bounty. I need to know the way to the city of El Tayu. Along with several others, you were on a secret mission from the cathedral to find the path to the celestial capital, were you not? That may be so, but we were never able to discover the way to El Tayu. Then why, my little friend, did the Tavnasian Cathedral call upon me to silence you? You must have discovered something. Now choose. Will you keep your silence, or keep your life? Wait! I'll tell you! We discovered a way that the way to El Tayu opens once every 100 years. That's all we found, I swear! Once in 100 years? That's everything I know. Time for me to leave. What? My. He does move fast for such a diminutive chap. Never mind. I have the information I came for. The stone statue that I saw in the Mimeo Mia is the statue of Promathia, the one kept in the reliquarium of the Tavnesian Cathedral. Could the statue also be a relic from Altair? Which would mean that the professor from Windurst. Alright. Ugh. This video's gonna be a little longer. Only because of that darn boat ride. Okay. I need to go to Walls and go back to Uran. Walls 1. There we go. Moru. Melny Mulny. This is Uran. I always think Duran. What now? You want to know where the statue from Tavnesia came from? I thought I already told you. The statue was covered in traces of soil similar to that found at on the bottom of the Sea of Shumeo. But wait just a moment. Now that you mention it, there were also traces of Gestaburg soil mixed in the samples. I did not think anything of it at the time. Why would there be two types of soil in the statue? Oh. Alright. That means that we have to go to Holton Movopolis and gamble all of our money. How much money do we have? I can do 18. I can gamble 18 times. Alright. Let's go to port exit. Should have survival in. I'm going to Twin Bricks at E13 in Holton Movopolis. There we go. I don't even know if I've been to Guzkin on this character. But it would be in Solkheim? Yeah. And then, if we go around to the right, that should be the exit to Movopolis. If I remember right. Movopolis has a fun theme. Bum bum ba-dum ba-dum. Bum bum ba-dum ba-dum. Bum bum ba-dum ba-dum bum ba-dum ba-dum. Bum bum ba-dum ba-dum. Bum bum ba-dum ba-dum. Bum bum ba-dum ba-dum bum bum ba-dum ba-dum. Why, if it isn't the adventurer Metasmith, I must commend you for your insight. Yes, it was nearly 100 years ago, too, that the Moblins wandered their way up from the bowels of Venedia. And then the Taru scientists who examined the statue in Tavnasia, what he said about the statue dug up from the labyrinth. I advise you, do not let your guard down when traveling through these caves. The Moblins' behavior is often erratic, and they can be quite nastier than their cousins on the surface. Out of all the beastmen, they seem to realize they are the children of the Twilight, and it is this fact that drives them. Ah yes, one of my colleagues spoke of a creature known as Tarnoctic, deep in the eastern end of this area Moblins called Olten Movopolis. Whether the beast will help you or not, I am still not convinced that this cave is truly the path to Altair. What? It cannot be! The boy! He lives! Wrong. Okay. I'm looking for, like, J13, is it? E13? Oh wow, I'm way up here. Okay. I wonder why you zone in this far up. These aren't the aggressive side. Okay. Now this track is fantastic. I'm gonna go ahead and get that hook down here. Common sense would dictate that you should be able to teleport here from similar tomes throughout the world. Common sense, of course. No. That's the one I need for my samurai. Not samurai, thief. My dagger trial that I've been waiting for. Oh well, it's fine. I am looking for... not Koblax, I am looking for... Twin bricks in E13. I still have a ways to go. So that's all the way at that last entrance. Boom, 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 boom. Oops, I had the wrong macro set. There we go. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Oh shoot. It's actually crafting. How many more of these do I have? 3. Well, I guess we're doing this now. See how far I can get. That should have been the last one. I think I... No, it wasn't. Alright, let's go. Huh, that's interesting. When I was farming for that NM, I was in the wrong spot. Anyhow. There we go. Twin bricks. Yeah, because I was fighting a couple of these guys somewhere else. Alright. Come on, twin bricks. Psst. Hey, yous! Even beans to the mine shaft all lead that ways beyond Newston. The big boss of this here place don't want nobody going back there. So he broke off the lever to the main gate. Now, I could give this here spare lever, but I'm gonna need some incentive in return. How's about we work out a trade? You brings me a striven stone, and we'll talk. What do you say? Oh yeah, there's another way to get beyond the gate. And it won't rub the boss the wrong way, but I ain't telling the likes of you. But if you really want to know, I could give you a chance. Here's what you'll do. You'll play dice with a me. You'll win. I let you on my secrets. But don't go thinking that I'm gonna play for free. That's right, incentives. Use folks over some gills. I'll tell you if it's enough. Oh, and don't go get anything more than 10,000. I'm not a crook, yeah? Ya knows? We'll see as if your upworlders have what it takes to play with the big boys. Let's do 2,000. 2,000. 4,000. Okay. Rules are simple. I throw 2 50-sided dice. If the total is between 2 and 20, use wins. Here we go. $23. Let's try 5,000. 6,000. Oh, I see. Your chances go up the higher, the larger amount of gil. So if I bet 10,000, it'll be up to 50. Yeah? Yeah, 2 and 50. Okay. Holds on, Upwelder. Okay. That wasn't so bad. So before we go into the mine shaft and do the fight, we're going to go out and get the crystal just outside. Because there is a save crystal, not a save crystal, there's a warp point just outside here that we can use in the future to get back here really quick, if we ever need to. There it is. This is also handy if you're doing ambuscade. Alright, we got it. So I could have had it the first time if I had bet like 5 or 6,000. But because I didn't bet high the first time, it gave me a lower chances. Let's see. Alright, we're gonna get this BCM out of the way. Yeah, okay. That's a lot of... Why do I have those other ones? A century of hardship. I wasn't expecting to see the other ones pop up there. That confused me for a second. Alright. Promethea's reborn! Promethea's reborn! He's stronger than stupid Hume. He's more powerful than ugly Goddess. We'll take him. Moblins, don't break promises. We'll take him to Sparkling Place. Yes, the Sparkling Place. Something to the north. Underwater. Tomorrow the rocks. But sweet eggs, Moblins don't break promises. We takes Promathia to Sparkly Places. I never imagined we would meet Certeus in this place. However, what could these creatures be jabbering about? Showa! Sure! Who are you people? Do you know who that boy is? Gelga? I am Jabos. I have lived with the Moblins for a long time. A long time. In peace. But lately, the Moblins act strangely. They praise the Twilight God. They attack the children of Altana. But I'll stop them, I promise. Moblins, don't break promises. Now go. Leave the rest to me. But... out of the way! Mookie's coming through! Out of the way! Hookie's coming through too! Huh? Wait right there. Why, you are those pesky children from Tavnesia. Whoa! It's the funny-looking boy! Ho ho! I told you we shouldn't have taken that shortcut. Whoa! Who cares? Let's catch him! Ha! Metasmith, this is the perfect opportunity to take Celtius into custody. We cannot pass it up. Alright, once we get the jump on them, we should be good. Bugby! Trick or trap. Swips a skip. Movamook. Check a chunk. Alright, let's jump on Bugby. That wasn't skewers, not the AoE. Sonic thrust is the AoE. There we go. Check-a-chuck. Remember? Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Is that all you got? I could beat you all with one hand. It's time for the tickle torture. Ah! Stop it right there! Hey! Oh, stop it right there! I think that's it. Hey, let us out of here! Let us out! What's this? Oh, 3 taru looks tasty. We're delegates from Juno. You touch us, you're toast! We're delegates from Juno. If you don't let us delegate, you'll be toast. Shut up! Noisy taru, give moblins headache! Be quiet, or I cut your throats! Throats! Delegates, you would not happen to have been sent here by Nagmalada, would you? Wait, everyone. Calm down. Listen to me. Javo, what do you want? That boy, he's not Promathia. He looks nothing like Promathia. Huh? Doesn't look like Promathia? You know what he looked like? Yes, I've seen Promathia. His statue. Statues? Oh, that's statues. Those ones that's got stolens. Yeah, I saw it too. It looked nothing like the boy. But boy used the dark power, just like legend says. Yes, but there is no crystal on his chest. He can't be the real Promathia. And you weren't created by Promathia anyway. Jabo, don't start with that again. Yes, Japanese words of Dawn Goddess. Jabos is ruled by bad people. Bad people must pay. Leave them for to size dinner. Yikes! If you do that, we won't be able to trade you Prometheus statue. No Prometheus statue. Statue? Taru. You have statue of Twilight God. Taru? You dug up Prometheus statue? Yeah, we know all about the white statue. Yeah, you want that statue, you trade us the boy. Yeah, trade us that boy. Moblins want the statue. The statue. It's written in Moblin legend. But we can't give them reincarnates of Prometheus. Prometheus strong. We give him to Turu. Maybe he can come back alone. Prometheus angry. Prometheus, get away. Wait. My reward's running away. Open. My reward's getting away. Wait, I'll let you out. Sure, travelers, this place is dangerous. You should leave right away. The Moblins are upset. Who knows what they might do? There is an exit over there. Don't look back. Run. And don't tell anyone what you heard or saw here. Don't. I do not think that will be possible. Mr. Jovels, of what the Moblin said, there is still much that troubles me. What were they talking of with the boy? You must tell us. It may aid us in finding Salteus and bringing him into custody. Sure. So, you know of the boy. I, too, wish to know more. We must go to Bastok. That's it! Master Sid may know. That's it! Master Sid may know more of what is going on. I shall lead the way to the Metalworks. There you can inform us of what you know. Metasmith, I will meet you again at Sid's laboratory. Let's see. Yeah. Alright. So if I head to this exit and fight some moblins and goblins in Newton, I should get a gold key that I need for the next section of the quest. But, oh, it's 11:07. It's already an hour 40 minutes. Alright. Let's go ahead and call it there for tonight. I am gonna take... we'll do this tomorrow morning. I think I'll stream early tomorrow and do this next section. And then tomorrow evening, I'll get done with Tenzin's section, and then we'll be done with Chapter 5. There are a total of... how many chapters in Promathia? There are 8 total chapters in Promathia. Chapter 5 is definitely the longest. 6 is cutscene fight, cutscene fight. 7 is cutscene, 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 fight. Fight. Chapter 8 is fight, 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 fight. So, like, this will definitely be the biggest pain, but once it's done, it's done. Chapter 6 and 7 should go pretty quick. Getting through the dungeon of Altayu isn't that bad because it's well pathed by now. There's not a lot of exploration. And with all the home points, it should be a simple matter. And then Chapter 8. Once we finish Chapter 8, we have the epilogue, which is really important. We have to do the epilogue. And then once that is done, we will be done with the first major story arc of this game. Rise of the Xylart was first, but Chains of Promathia... So Rise of the Xylart didn't have a lot of story to it. It was there, but it was really interspersed. There wasn't a lot of like talking and cutscenes. It was mostly reading flavor text, catching little tidbits of lore here and there, like finding the mage in the Temple of Uglape and his notes and how he was going insane, and that getting related to the shard that they didn't really talk about before, that kind of got retconned into Chains of Promathia. And then discussion of the Dark Divinity. They've mentioned that the North has a Dark Divinity, but it's not Promathia. So there's that as well. But they don't really say what the Dark Divinity is, at least not yet. Which they may get into it more in Treasures of Ottergone, but that's not important either. The important thing is that at the end there's an epilogue, and in the epilogue you have to have completed both Rise of the Xylart and Chains of Promathia. And this story is finally getting meshed together and everything kind of comes to a head. And you get a really strong conclusion to both that I think is very satisfying, and a conclusion that I didn't even realize existed until like 6 months ago. So I hope everybody that's watching enjoys it and has enjoyed the playthrough so far. I'm having more fun than I thought trying to figure out how to do voices for everyone. I wish I could trill my R's, but I can't do that, so the Mithra are always difficult. After we're done with Promathia, we may take a break and do the entirety of Winter's Nation quests, and then go through and do Sandoria's Nation quests. Mostly because when we get to Treasures of Ottergone, Shan Toto and Prince Trion of Sandoria become very important characters. And in order to properly introduce them, I want to do the Sandorian quests for the city of Sandoria, just to kind of go through and introduce them all. Which means I'll do missions 1 and some of the submissions for 2, and then 2-3, 3-2, 4-1, 5-1, 5-2 will all be done off stream, because that all pertains to redoing the Shadow Lord stuff one more time, which we've already done once before. It's pretty much the same quests, so we won't worry about it too much. Alright. All that being said, I'm gonna go and get some sleep. So, Amanda, love you. Hope you're having a great day, and I'll get a good night's sleep. Good night.